Good morning, everyone. I was waiting for the signal to say we were live, but I didn't see it. Update from Phil's Fudge Factory, the Magical Fudge Kitchen, March 24th, 2020. I am going to talk about where you can get our fudge, some things that are happening around the kitchen, answer some questions. The best of my knowledge, I didn't receive any questions, but if you have any questions, just fire them along now, and I'll try and catch them as they fly by. And talk about hi Al, good morning, and try and talk about a few frequently asked questions and so on. Okay, so we have no trade shows this week. We just finished Nosh this past weekend in Sherwood Park with a good show, but there are not any coming up for a few weeks. I believe the next one is up in Fort McMurray, so just stay tuned for that as we get a bit closer. But I thought I'd tell you a few local spots where you could get it, or actually not local, but maybe local to you, where you could get some fudge. As you know, we don't have our own store. Our store is an online store. And that's just the way that we sell our fudge. And I've never wanted to kind of have a retail store myself. But you can get our fudge here in Alberta at some of the Loblaws locations. So the Loblaws stores are branded as City Market. So there's one in Edmonton, one in St. Albert, and one in Calgary that carry a limited selection of our fudge. In fact, all of these stores I'm going to mention just carry a limited selection of our fudge, just because there's so many flavors that we make. In outside of Edmonton and Calgary, there are Loblaw stores branded as your independent grocer. So we have our fudge in all of those stores around Alberta. I believe there's 9 of them. And if you're in an area that has a store, well, you know that you have that store. Some of the other wholesalers, I'll go through just a handful of them right now. We have Redneck Barbie, that's in Ponoka, Alberta. We have Black Mountain Minis. Not exactly sure that's the name that you might recognize, but that's the name that they give me for invoicing. They're in Sundre. I believe they are sort of a on-farm store, so they're carrying our products. Koziki Produce in Waterford, Ontario. Jungle Flowers in St. Paul, Alberta. And Pippa's Heart Life Creations in Paris, Ontario. This is a bit of a cute story. This is a young girl who is quite an entrepreneur and has these different little pop-up stores, and she's selling our fudge these days. Okay, so what's happening here in the kitchen? Some good news from my perspective. My daughter has come on board part-time. She is working in operations, so both of my children now are involved in the business. My son Mike is looking after marketing and social media aspects of it, and my daughter Kalina is looking after operations. So she was in here yesterday learning how to make fudge, and she'll be learning all of the different processes involved in operating our business. So as a dad, that makes me feel really, really good. Okay, I am trying to avoid saying that, so I just have to concentrate on not saying Some questions. I thought today I would talk a little bit about any of the allergy products that may be contained in our fudge. So a question we get asked often is, are fudge gluten-free? And the fudge itself is gluten-free, but in some flavors we add products containing gluten. The most obvious ones are the cookies. So the cookies and cream, and the fluffernutter, the coffee crisp. So those ones do contain gluten because we add products that contain gluten into them. probably pretty obvious in the description whether it contains cookies or not, but if you have any questions whether it does or not, just fire us off an email and we can answer that for you. The other one that sometimes we get questioned about is allergen. So all of our fudge contains milk and soy. We use soy lecithin in the fudge. And then for the other allergens, nuts and stuff, it is product dependent. So peanut butter based fudges, peanut butter explosion, the confetti, obviously contain peanuts. We use pecans. There's one fudge that actually has walnuts in it. That's carrot cake. We're not making it right now. So again, if it's not obvious to you whether it contains something that you have a concern about, just send us a message and we'll let you know if it contains that product. I am going to talk about 2 new flavors that we just came up this week. All right, so I have a message from Chris. We'll just answer that. He wants to know if you could order special order flavors. I want more Tiger Fudge, but I never see it in stock anymore. It's so good. The short answer to that question is no. We are scheduled to make over 100 flavors of fudge this year. We have recipes for thousands of different kinds of fudge. You know, it's not practical to make that number of fudge. So we try and keep stock about 36 flavors. Maybe, you know, somewhere around 30 of those we have all the time. You know, them chocolate, maple pecan, peanut butter explosion. And then we try and bring in some either seasonal flavors or some new flavors, usually around half a dozen a month. But Chris, I think Tiger Eye is still in production. I don't want to pop away from the video to check it. Well, maybe I will, but I'm pretty sure that it's in production. Yeah, it's still in production, Chris, so get it while you can. It's one that we make quite often, but not one that we have all the time, so it is available right now. Can you special order it? If I've said in the past that if you order 12 or multiples of 12 or 24, then we can make it special for you. We get very few requests for that. 12 is a lot of fudge for 12 pieces of fudge is a lot for someone to order. But it's something that we would consider if we get a request. You know, we would try to address that. So there are some that we just simply can't make, and the one that always comes to mind is eggnog, because we use real eggnog, and it's very difficult to find eggnog if it's not Christmas time. So it's something we would consider, but you'd have to, you know, you'd have to buy 12 or multiples of 12. That's kind of how we make them in multiples of 12. And, you know, we don't want to sell one and then more or less be left with the other 11 fudge. So, as always, if you would like to give us a Google or Facebook review, we really appreciate it. You know, these are tough times, and you know, and getting 5-star reviews is really helpful in growing the business. 2 new flavors. I'm trying to keep this to 10 minutes. I forgot to start the timer, but it looks like the timer says 6. I'm probably about 8 minutes. So 2 new flavors. They're made. They're going to be cut and packaged today, and I'll probably get them on the website today or tomorrow. I've got to come up with the description and stuff that goes in the website. So we made an Easter fudge. We call it Easter chocolate. It's basically chocolate fudge with sort of mini Smarties in them. They're pastel color Easter colors. They're both throughout the fudge and also on top of the fudge. So it looks pretty when you open it up. The other one that we came up with was maple cookie. So this is our famous maple fudge. And we have maple cookies in it, and I haven't actually had a piece of it yet. I expect it's going to be wonderful because I like the maple fudges. I like the maple cookies too, although I seldom buy them. And so that look for that on the website maybe later today or tomorrow. Okay. On a personal note, I just had my physical, my annual physical. Well, biannual, I guess. I didn't have one last year because of the whole COVID issue, but I normally go for annual physical. Doctor said everything looks good. He has no concerns. He sends me for blood work, the usual blood work that's been done, and I go back on Friday to get the results of that. But don't really expect anything special to come from that. I feel good, and I have no reason to be concerned, and neither does he. So that's it for now. I see Chris is going to go check the website and maybe order some tiger fudge. That's great. I really appreciate that, Chris, and I appreciate everybody who's out there who's ordering our fudge and keeping us in business during these difficult times. So that's it for today. I appreciate you tuning in. I see there's a handful of people who are watching it live. Of course, I'm going to post this up on Facebook and YouTube. And if you follow us on YouTube or would like to follow us on YouTube, I would appreciate that. It helps the stats and those kinds of things and helps us grow. All right, so that's it for this week. I will be back next Wednesday. Oh, hi, Tracy. Yeah, we ship to Ontario. We ship all across Canada, and we subsidize the shipping depending on, we have sort of 3 rates. It's free if you buy $50 or more. It's $9.95 if it's between I think it's $26 and $50. And it's, it's $4.95 if it's between $26 and $50, and it's $9.95 if it's less than that. Okay, yeah, ship all across Canada, do it often. We ship out about several dozen packages of fudge every day. And, we support, we appreciate the support that we get from all across Canada. All right, Tracy, so thank you. And, oh, you want to try a fundraiser? Yeah, sure. We subsidize, and in fact, it's free shipping on the fundraisers for the fudge. All right, so I will see you all next Wednesday, 8:30 Mountain Time, and stay safe, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.